less brain cells that I have to waste.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. Running through it with the young influence, had a less impressions, I'm succumbing to it. I've been giving yeses when I shouldn't do it. I complete the check with the who's elusive and I'm barely moving, but I'm still gon' boost 'em. I can't work on winners when I know you're losing, so I work the winners and they throw the losers. Guess I have to pivot, shooting no bazookas for the facts. I need more racks, give me the cash, let the tax. That's a joke, tell 'em I'm laugh. Uncle Sam, got the bag, buddy, black, get 'em back. Contract, give me the facts. I got a laugh, on my back. You ain't that, then it's a rap. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Alright guys, I am back. It took over 2 weeks, almost a whole month for me to kind of get back on track, get the settings I want, get all that stuff. But here I am, and honestly I'm excited to have that stress off of me. I've created 2 different situations, 2 different kind of setups, really 3, but 2 main ones that I'll be using day to day that's going to help facilitate a lot of this filmmaking and make it much easier for me to get content to you. The big thing that I was struggling with was not only learning the Sony RX100V, but also matching color styles between Canon and Sony. And to be honest, I haven't gotten it. I haven't gotten the color like there, and yes, I could spend a million years in post like color grading, but as I get older and older, and I think this is just for anyone, like I'm noticing that I do not have the amount of time that I need for a lot of this super finite detail work. And I think that's just everyone. I think it's life in general. We always want it to be extra perfect, but in reality it's like, it's good enough. And to think about it, it's really me giving you content and trying to provide value to you, and you, the audience. You're either going to be forgiving or you're not going to watch, but it is what it is, you know. I can't fixate so much on perfection when perfection is causing me not to upload anything, which is worse than good enough. I think that makes sense. So in our car we have a 3-camera setup. We have the GoPro right there. We have the Canon, and this is like a GoPro Hero 3, like the absolute oldest. So the quality's not going to be great, guys. Give me a break. But we got the GoPro there. We have the Canon SL2 as my main camera, and I think this is the big thing that was hurting me for a while. I was trying to make the Sony RX100V my main camera. I really wanted that to be true, but I just haven't gotten it there yet. Not to say that the camera itself isn't there yet. I think it's just me personally getting everything under wrap and figuring out how to make the best of everything. And for the SL2, I'm making it a close-up, for the most part a close-up. I do have the 18-200 just so I can get like really micro adjustments. Even though a 2.8 would be a little bit better, etc., whatever, I just want to be able to make those small, tiny micro adjustments all the way up and down, versus having my fixed 50mm lens and my fixed 24mm, where it's like I have to get the position of the camera itself right and everything else has to fall in place. I can kind of put this thing almost as far back as I even need it, and then I can pull the lens up just a little bit more, and that's good. Then we have the RX100V as our wide. just because natively, like the sensor is huge, so it just makes a lot more sense to make it as a wide camera versus a close-up. And it's angled this way. You may have remembered I've been angling this way, like going this way, previous, kind of out the window. This, I feel like, will give you guys a better feel of in the car, and if I have like a guest or a person that gets in right over here, you can see them automatically. We got a biker coming up, so give me a second. So ultimately what we're kind of getting at right here is like a close-up, a medium, and a ultra-wide, I guess you can say, or a super, like a wide. And hopefully it gives you the full dynamic, the full feel of being in the car with me. Because, you know, I mean, as I've wanted to mix these up and change them all up and everything and figure out a way to not be in the car, the reality is I'm in the car, you know, just driving to work 10 hours a week, like 2 hours, 1 hour here, 1 hour back, 1 hour here, 1 hour back. It just is, and I hate being in the car and trying to take away from the value that I built up in January, where I was like, I'm going to take something I hate and try to make it into something that's very enjoyable, like this. It's just almost counterintuitive. Now, as far as audio goes, and I'm actually going to have three up instead of 2 up, but as in like this setup right here that I'm using, another reason why I've been like, it's been crazy tough getting content to you guys is because I'm trying to learn all about the lav mics and like the Zoom H1s and really getting in tune with better audio for like all the meetings I have at New Human and everywhere else. Like I'm trying to get that as good as possible. And what I find is that the quality of the mics themselves coming out, like the built-in mics on the H4n and the Zoom H1, they're really good quality, especially the H4n. And these are like they're really good, but when you pair it with like a lav mics they're good if you aren't moving around a lot, and they're good, and it's at least from my experience. Like I literally tried for a few days just wearing the lav mic. I put it on the outside of my shirt, I put it on the inside, just trying to get they're tearing up the road. Woo! That's not me smoking, that's them. Okay. Trying to get the absolute best quality. Paired with it, I made sure my gains were really good. I made sure everything was tip top, and then I get it into post, and like it still sounds muffled. You know what I mean? Like it's still. So it has to be on the absolute outside. You know, no like wearing a coat or wearing whatever. It is very, very sensitive, and I'm going to be using the lavs today. Specifically, I have another film shoot with Lee Woolley, my boss. We're talking all about the SL2 insight, pre-sale questions, post-sale questions, all that. I'm amped up. I'm hosting that. Going to make that happen. So that's going to that'll be good for like absolutely on the outside of the shirt, But if you are moving or anything hits it or covers it, it messes your audio up bad. And I think it's just my own learning and understanding and getting comfortable with a lot of these new tools that I'm trying to use and learn. Like, you know what I mean? I definitely think lavs are banger, but is it the quality of the lav? Like, it's just like the Rode mic up here, you know? Like, when I first started with audio on the iPad, I had no clue what mic was good and what mic wasn't good. And so I was almost scared to pick any mic because I thought they would just like not be that good. And then I ended up getting like the Rode Video Micro, I think, or something like that, and the quality was not good, as I had kind of expected, or like as I almost like, I crossed my fingers, but I didn't expect it. And then I ended up getting the Rode Video mic, which the audio was absolutely perfect. I'm still jealous. I still am like, I want to get that, but I'm in the midst of no spend years, so I ain't gonna do it. But the quality was so good, and it's like, how the hell the difference? I think that might be the thing with the lavs here. These are $60 lavs, which to me it's kind of expensive as far as like having a lav, and you have the the mic or whatever as well, like the recorder or whatever you're putting it in. But it could be that there's like $120 lavs or $200 lavs that are just like absolute perfection, and I don't know that yet. But for me, the muffledness was just too, it wasn't exactly acceptable, but I was also letting perfection get in the way. I think this one vlog's going to be called Perfect or Perfection Sucks or something, I don't know, something like that, because that's really been been crippling me over the past month, is trying to be a perfectionist versus getting it done. So back to the Zooms. The Zooms they do really, really good with audio. So I have two going right now. I have the Zoom H4n, and that's going to be the cleanest audio. It's at a 48 hertz, like a frequency 48, and then a 24-bit. I was originally doing 96 hertz or whatever, and I YouTubed it and learned about like what the human ear can like actually hear and delineate from. I think there is a small difference, but the size is like double, so it's kind of like so I decided to just go with just the 48, which is most CD quality, most all that stuff that you're used to hearing. And then I also have a low cut on both of them. For the Zoom, it's 80. I guess it's 80 hertz is what it may be. I don't know. I'm not an audio expert, so please forgive me if I'm butchering the hell out of like audio speak. But it's at a low cut 80, so anything over or under 80 hertz, I think pretty sure it's over, is like the sound's almost like kind of canceled out, or it doesn't record that. And then I have the H4n at 96 hertz, which is, I feel like, even better. It gets even cleaner. Yeah, so that's that. I'm actually going to use all three in the kind of solo kind of style, where I'm going to put one of the Zooms really low gain, one of the Zooms really high gain, and then the other Zoom like in the middle, so that if I peak, or if there's just some sort of problem with audio where I'm either too loud or I'm too soft or whatever, I can cut to I can use that whichever one makes the most sense. And I think that's really going to be a good use. And then of course, like when I'm in meetings or whatever for the three, or the the interviews or whatever, one Zoom for each person, mic'd up with a lav. If they don't want to see the Zoom in on the desk, which me personally I don't care, but I completely get it. I understand it. A lot of people don't want to see the mic stuff. And then I want to at least have the Zoom H4n on the desk, because you can set the it's like an XY access thing, so one mic is going this way and one mic's going this way, and if you're talking, like, it hits both mouthpieces. But if you're doing like an interview, you can put it in between you and the interviewee, and Y is hitting the interviewee, and you, and then X is hitting you, which is really cool. So I definitely want to do that. I'll put it at 120 degrees versus 90 degrees, pretty much just like, instead of it going this direction, it's going to go this direction. A lot of stuff I had to learn over the past month. A lot of the stuff, a lot of it had to do with audio gear and Sony. Like, So there was definitely a reason for the lats, but I was also letting it get in the way of my production, which I'm not too cool with. All right. There's also the Rode Video Go on top of this camera. So technically I have, Jesus, 1, 2, 3, 4 audio sources right now. I don't count the GoPro because it's outside. And in an any day world, I'll have 5 audio sources to go from instead of just 1. Looks like GoPro's holding up pretty good out there. I also was doing like tests between GoPro, like the footage as far as the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goes. And like the footage difference between the GoPro 4 and 5 compared to the 3 is like minuscule. Like it's not great. Don't get me wrong, that footage is not good. But I think it's okay kind of for telling the story, like getting enough here. Yeah. Hopefully I didn't. This is just completely like camera gear spec vlog, vlog or whatever today. So I'm gonna title that to make sure. And also this all kind of comes with the podcast stuff too. You know what I mean? Like trying to get it all in sync. Because I got several things coming up. I continually want to just improve my craft. I had a photo shoot yesterday at New Human for product photography, and I said it in the past, previous, I'm not a photographer. And slowly but surely, there's more little things that kind of come with just, I guess, maybe being a filmmaker. You just kind of assume that you know how to take photos. But I was pretty happy with the results. I pretty much put the lights up high, facing down. Bought a foam board from Walmart for like $2 or something, so it's nice and clean white, and just use the Sony to kind of get some nice shots. Would I do anything different for the photo shoot next time? I want to, maybe that could be a good idea. Okay, so the lights have a diffuser that you can screw in and attach to it, but when it's facing down, the lights themselves don't allow you to put the diffuser on. But I've also found in the past, if you use just a garbage Walmart bag, just like a regular plastic bag, and put it over the light, it can diffuse it. So if I poke a hole in the Walmart bag, put it over the light and through the pole, I technically can get diffused lights, and I'll kill a little bit of the shadow. The shadow was not super bad, it was good, but I wanted it to be way less than what it was. And so with that, I use 2 lights, I'll use 3 lights, like 1, 2, 3 around, and then put those free Walmart bags just over it to diffuse it. And I think from there, that's gonna be perfect. It's almost like a lantern style type of thing, where I guess if you had 4 lights, that's what you'd do, but I don't have 4 lights. Yeah, feeling pretty good about this though. I'm so bad for getting caught in the details. Like seriously, I'm so bad for it that it really stifles. Like when I get on a roll with doing like this stuff and just like whatever, getting it out, I get so much more responses than fixating on like all these small little details that, you know, I care about. I want the quality to be even better. But it's like Casey Neistat said, like he's like I think it's like in response to like his guide to filmmaking, or like in response to somebody saying, well, you could use this and you could use this and you could use this, and it's like I could use all this fancy gear, or I can use a brick or use a phone or whatever, and there's like a line between like getting it to you and like the amount of shit that has to happen between getting it to you. And he's like, I want the least amount of friction possible, which is precisely why he, decided to like use his Canon 80D with a Rode video mic and a Gorilla Pod, and that's pretty much it. And then he has a point and shoot, of course, like in his drone. But like their arguments were, well, mic up, get better audio, or set up this and make sure that, and all that stuff takes time. Like, I don't know if anyone realizes that, but all the filmmaking like that you just watch on YouTube, all of it takes a lot of time out of your day. And I'm just, there's just a limited amount of time, you know what I mean? Limited amount of time to sleep, limited amount of time to edit. Same thing every day. Anything in the personal life that is going on. I have a wedding March 16th. I'm extremely excited about that. 150 person guest turnout. I'll be, being the videographer of that wedding. The couple seems really nice, and yeah, really excited to make all that happen. Oh yeah, one more thing. I talked about the car setup, but I also created this really, really, really nice setup at home. And you guys, if you know anything about filmmaking, or you watch, or you're a filmmaker yourself, you'll know that angle is really everything. As you continue to, you got to get the audio right, you got to get the picture right, but with that comes like the moving and telling and welcoming into the story as you change the angle and move everything, all that. And it's so pretty out today. And I was gonna throw out like this wine cart or whatever. Like Laura gave me like this wine cart thing. We just never found a use for it. I was like, oh, let's put it in the office and I'll use it or whatever. But the thing was like wobbly and kind of janky or whatever. I was like, I'm just gonna throw this thing out. But I started thinking, I was like, you know what? What if I put my light on this thing where I can just kind of move the light around? Or what if I put, my camera on this thing, I can just move it around? And then it kind of snapped in my head. I was like, I put my entire setup on this rolling cart thing, and that means that I can keep camera A rolling, camera B rolling, audio A, audio B, audio C, all of that in the same vicinity. I don't have to pick any of that stuff up, and I literally move the cart and change the angle or whatever, and there's a completely new scene. Or I move it to a different location, there's a new scene. And the lighting is always continuous. The whole lighting is always the exact same, so I don't have to change all these different settings for everywhere that I go. I mean, technically I could, and whatever, but that's going to be a big game changer too. I'm excited to start using that tomorrow. And I figured out something else with filmmaking. It's taken me 1.5 years to maybe get here, and maybe you've known it, maybe you haven't. But it's not at all about filling the room with light. We just lost our little camera here. So if I get to a stoplight, I'll pull it. I'll put another battery in, but whatever. It's not about lighting the entire scene. It's, if you kill all of the lights, and just try this, don't think I'm crazy, because if you look back at, I did a Q&A a week ago or something like that. If you kill all the lights, put one light on your subject, turn all your camera's ISOs down to 100, like period, or whatever the ISO it needs to be just to light that person. And I'm not talking about like putting on auto, because it's just going to try to light the entire scene. 100, just light for that face, and then in the background, just, you know, you could have whatever light on, whatever's naturally just on. I promise your scene's going to look so much better. It just is. And that's the things that I can't control out here in the field, like driving and all that. I can't. The lighting is dramatically changes, because it's daylight, you know what I mean? I'm going from shade to whatever, so I can't just set my settings and be done with it. And that was killing me too. I was like, I can't stand this. I'm getting such just okay images, not super great, flat, blah, 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 blah. I just have this thing set to auto on both of them, and screw it if it gets it right or wrong. It's less brain cells that I have to waste on it, seriously. And then I can worry about the studio, where I can move the angle and getting even better content. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. It's good to be back. I don't know how many vlogs I've said this in, but I've been recording like hell. It's just a matter of figuring things out. I'm to that point now. Once you've figured out a problem, once you've just kind of come to it, and you've accepted it, whether it's good or bad or okay, that's one less thing that you have to worry about. Now I can worry about the story and just giving you guys good content and things that you care about, and trying to communicate with you better. Yeah, I feel good. Anyways, that battery dying might have been a sign that I need to go ahead and get off here. They usually run about 30 minutes, so yeah, 30 minutes. I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow. I'll be uploading this, whatever day. Not whatever day. I'll be uploading it, what is it? I mean, I'll be uploading it tomorrow, but you'll see this tomorrow. But I'll be there. But I'll be with you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow. All right, catch you guys on the next one. Bye, GoPro. Peace.